Well, what's up, guys? How are you? Welcome back. It's me, your brother, your boy, He-Bot. And again, I'm coming at you with another video. Well, maybe a little small, but we got to talk about it. You see, I have a band-aid in my lip. Microsoft just punched me in the mouth this morning. There are no more excuses. None whatsoever not to go and upgrade this generation to the Xbox One brand and the Xbox One family. Microsoft came out today, guns blazing. It started today, started yesterday and continued today with a lot of good news, a lot of surprising news. I've been vindicated in a lot of ways because a lot of the things I said came to fruition. First and foremost, Microsoft announced the Xbox S, which is the Lockhart, quote unquote, right? Which I told people is going to be more than likely a all-digital version of the Series X itself. And it actually is in a lot of ways, but it isn't. So, and that perspective, in that way, my speculation, I was wrong. It is digital, which is great, which I knew it was. That makes, works in my favor. And it was not as powerful as the Series X, but it's very close, or at least half of the power to give you a lot of different options. Obviously it doesn't have the tray. It doesn't have, 12 teraflops. I think it's 6 or 4. It does have the same CPU. It is capable of ray tracing. It does have less CUs, but it is at the same speed. It has 20 CUs as opposed to 56. So there's differences, but it's still capable of handling 4K upscaling, 1440p native at 120 frames per second, depending on the games, I guess, obviously. But to our surprise, the biggest thing is that it is at an affordable price that is matching and comparable to the PS5. Because even if the PS5 is $400 or $500, you don't have the option at $299 to get that much power out of a little smaller little unit. And the PlayStation 5 all digital is the same hardware, but it only has the specs that are there, right? It has an SSD drive. You know what I mean? So I think it also is compatible with the expendable drive that they're doing with the Series X as well. They haven't given all the details, but you would have to think that's what it is because that's the format Microsoft is going with this generation. So the best part about it, they announced all access. So if you get the S, it's $600 total, 2 years. That's including Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Live. Now, as we know today, found out today, Xbox EA All Access at no additional cost. The cloud gaming, right? That you can play your games on the go. And whatever, perks come, like the free games monthly and things of that nature. So, plus the security, the dedicated service, all that. All under the same umbrella for $600 for 2 years, interest free, meaning you pay no interest. And if you pay it monthly for $24 a month and all the way to the end of the second year, and you pay it consistently with no missing payments, you don't pay no interest. Now, if you don't pay it by then, for whatever reason, then you have to pay the interest that's tacked on. That's the only catch. But to be honest with you, $24 a month, and you get the console, you take it home right there and then, as long as you have decent credit or a good enough credit to qualify, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. You don't have to worry about buying the games because you're going to have Game Pass if you can't afford to get some stuff at the time. You don't have to worry about online because it's got Xbox Live. It's all there. It's all there for you. EA Access. You know what I mean? Everything is there. So, for those complaining that it's going to be too expensive but still want a next-gen experience, there's no excuses. They just dropped the ball and they made it completely affordable for anyone to dive in. This is especially targeted for the casuals that only buy games and consoles rather for just to maybe play one game like Call of Duty, or even perhaps games like like a sports game, something simple that they don't play much, right? And keep in mind that the CPU is faster than the one on the PS5. That's how much power this little console got. So it does the ray tracing, it has Dolby Atmos, HDR obviously. It is a good entry point with a lot of capabilities and high quality, right, for gaming. So there's no excuses not to dive in. And this is especially true for those Nintendo and PlayStation fanboys that don't like to put their money on Xbox because they're dedicated to their brand, that if they want to get an Xbox to play their games, they have every right to get in there at a good price with good quality. Also, they have a good option. They don't need to worry about, I got to get a more expensive PC, because even to get all these benefits on a PC, now this is a better option than buying and building a PC to do the stuff like ray tracing and things like 1440 at 120 frames on a PC space. This is still a more affordable option. And then for the Series X, they confirmed it's $499. Not a bad price at all, especially with all the power that's in it. So imagine how much more flexibility we're going to have, or the developers are going to have, with the Xbox Series X. If this small console, the S, is already packing a punch. We got to keep in mind that the Series X is targeted audience is the hardcore gamers. It's not the regular casuals. It's the hardcore gamers. So both consoles will do well. They'll do fine. But, it's great to see Microsoft being aggressive, being fair, being bold, having the courage and confidence, not worrying about what Sony's doing, okay? And also on top of that, keep in mind that I said a while back that we will start to find out what games will be available with the console day and date after they make the announcement of the price and the release date. Because now, as we know, it's launching on November 10th. It will be available to everyone, right? And you can start to pre-order it in stores, wherever it's available, on September the 22nd. So, September 22nd, pre-orders go up so you can go start pre-paying or pre-ordering. And the console will be out on November 10th. I don't know if it's worldwide or how many regions, but I know that for us here in the States, it will be November 10th. Okay? So, and it's an amazing price for the amazing power and punch that the console is delivering. So bravo to Microsoft, because they just stepped their game and put it in a completely different direction. So now we know that Gears Tactics is a launch title. Flight Simulator will be a launch title. Games like Valhalla and Dirt were pushed to be launching directly on November 10th. It's saying that the Gears Valhalla will be 4K native, 60 frames on the Series X. It was also confirmed that the S can run Gears of War multiplayer at 120 frames per second. At 120 frames per second. Also, they confirmed that EA Access is included with Game Pass at no additional cost, which is an awesome value. Just added more value to the Game Pass movement. And as well as Medium, that should be out, The Ascend. And maybe shortly after we'll get other news, because I believe games like Crossfire, games like Bright Memory Infinite, the one, a Corn, I think it's Corn, Chrono? It's the one with the ship. That's supposed to be out soon as well. And they're supposed to also have the Gunk. shortly after release, as far as what developers are saying and what they hinted at. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Plus, day one, full compatibility with all of your libraries for the Xbox One and the other two generations of 360 and OG Xbox games that you'll be able to play at better quality. So now you have an opportunity to go back to all your backlog, play it at a better quality no matter what, and catch up if you need to whenever you can on your old games that you never finished up and play them at a better quality. So it's a win-win. Unlike what, the PlayStation is doing, that it's PS4 compatible, but it's only with selected games. So now the ball is in Sony's court. Now we have to see what type of move they're going to do or what type of offerings they're going to offer. Let's see if they try to be funny and get cute, which I always say they usually do, and try to underhand or undercut Microsoft. I don't really see it happening because I think they're not in a financial position that they can actually undercut what they paid for the R&D and the manufacturing for the PS5, because they don't have that capital the way that Microsoft does for the Sony division, even though it makes them the most money, because profits, are very different than revenue, and their profits are usually just enough to keep all the other stuff going, like in their movie division and in their developers and studios division. Plus the fact that they trying to so-called buy other studios as well. So and then obviously we'll have Halo next year. Hopefully we'll hear from Hellblade 2, Mira, and a bunch of other titles that have been shown that's supposed to come to the Series X exclusively sometime, some permanently, like the gunk. So it's a good time to be an Xbox gamer for sure, no question about it. It's a good time to be a gamer in general, and it's a good time that if you haven't been on the Xbox brand or the Xbox console or ecosystem, you can make the dive, and it's going to be worth your while at an affordable price without having to really worry about if you're gonna get ripped off, if you're wasting your money, because they're giving you enough options that you can feel comfortable enough to justify your purchase. And you got a lot of things to look forward to, and games right from launch, whether they're new IPs, multiplats, backlog, catalog, all those things together in one, package, an ultimate package, right? And and under one umbrella. So, guys, I think it's fantastic. Bravo to Microsoft. They did a good job. I really thought the Series X was going to be maybe 400 because I thought they were really going to get crazy. But, with all the tech that it has in it, I could understand why it's not. Because I did say, probably most likely it won't, because the tech in there is very, very advanced and it's custom, so it's going to be expensive. Now, there's a rumor going on that because somebody put it up, because they showed it, I guess, in the store, that the SSD expendable card is $219. I really doubt that it's that price. I don't think that's the price. I think that's probably a placement holder or era. Again, I said I don't speak until it's officially announced. I don't speak on rumors. That's why I'm speaking now about the Xbox One S and the Xbox Series X based on their official announcement and the pricing and the release date. So I can speak now on it. But as far as that expendable card, I know SSD is expensive, but I'm not going to jump the gun and say it's going to be $219. I hope it's not, because it's going to be very hard for people to go out and buy it at that price. That's steep. That's very steep. But at least it's giving you the option for extra memory, unlike Sony, where you'll just have to keep on erasing your games that, have the next generation patches and things of that nature that utilize the power of the console, because those files are going to be big. They're going to be massive. They're going to be massive because of all the computation of what's in the game, like ray tracing, or if it's 4K native or the frame rate. It's a lot of information. So those files are going to be massive. So, I hope they figure out a way to give their fan base a solution for extended memory. Thank God that Microsoft is giving it to us day one. But I just hope that that's not the price, because that is steep. $100, okay, that's different. Maybe 120, all right. But 213, that's kind of steep. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you for the moment. Like I said, I got snuck in the mouth and busted all up this morning with Microsoft. So I had to mend the wounds. So, please understand, don't make fun. It hurt, but it is what it is. It's worth it, because it was all good news. So, guys, love you. Give me a like. So thumbs it up, or give me a dislike, thumbs it down. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. How you feeling about all the new news and nice announcements. And, of course, as always, share it with someone you think might like it. And if you are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much it helps me, and it goes a long way. And remember, I know you don't have to, so I appreciate it very much. But since you did, I consider you now part of my family. So, like I always say, Xbox for life, like a sickness that can't be cured. That's my saying. That's my slogan, people. It's just gaming. Don't take it serious. It's all in good fun. See you in the next one, guys. And yes, I am feeling a lot better. Today I'm having a particularly good day, which is a good sign. So thank you guys for all your love and support all this time. See you in the next one.